Welcome to Uncensored Entrepreneurs. Oh my God, I am so excited, Star. We have a fabulous lineup today. The Glowstick Girls are in the house. I am so excited. This is a movement that we have started a year and a half ago, and we are going to show you exactly what we've been up to. We'll be right back. I get so excited when I watch our intro. Okay, so first of all, we're missing two of our hosts. Robert Wall is somewhere on vacation in an unknown destination, and he's kind of like behind the scenes right now. So thank you so much, Robert. And Christina is being a slacker and just got back from Vegas, and you know how that goes. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So she is back in Mexico, like not on vacation, but she's probably watching right now. So we love you. We ain't gonna talk. We're not gonna say nothing. Okay, so you guys know that I am a publisher, and a year and a half ago, I launched our first book, Be a Glowstick Girl, Volume 1, hit international bestseller. It was a #2 best-selling book, and this year we launched Volume 2. So I am so excited to bring you these amazing ladies who are in the house about to rock it and going to share a little bit of insight of what kind of chapter, what they wrote in their chapter, and what it was all about. Star, what is up, girl?
I am so excited to be here. If you guys are tuning in, make sure you stay through the entire show today because we have some incredible, powerful women in the house. They're going to be sharing some transformational stories, their journey through life with you, and this is a do not miss episode.
Right? So if you guys have not yet purchased your book, you can go to beaglowstickgirl.com, grab your copy today. But I want to give you guys a little sneak peek. So this is not the actual book. This is just a proof copy. So this is Be a Glowstick Girl Volume 2. Has all these amazing authors. Sarah Robbins, Kimberly Olsen wrote the foreword to the book. We have Tina Howerman, Star Codd, Bethany King, Lindsay Carrillo, Mary Kate Berry, Lori Kennedy, Heidi Cole, Tara Hartfield, Sarah Robbins, myself, Kristen Clark, Amber Voigt, Vanessa Hunter, Miranda Higginbotham, Trisha Guthrie, and Donna Valdez. Did I get everybody? No, and Michelle Snyder and Lindsay Walters. Oh, I got them all. So first, Star, since you are one of my amazing co-hosts, tell everybody about, okay, give me one thing that you didn't want to do with this chapter. That you struggled with to write this chapter.
Well, I think a lot of us, some of the women knew exactly what they wanted to talk about. They wanted to create impact around their story and their lives. But there were many of us who struggled with what we wanted to talk about or write about or even what we wanted to share. And some of the women were very protective of people that may have created trauma in their lives. And they chose not to disclose those stories, while others were triumphant and also wanted to share things that have happened to them. So I think for many of us, we were like, okay, what should we share? Some of us.
Which glow stick moment do I want to share?
There's been so many things that some of the women have been through. It's like just picking the one thing. And again, Tina always was really positive about reminding us that even if we can just share our story to help someone and save one person's life or make a difference in one person's life, our story is worth it. And that is what really kept many of us motivated.
Oh, I like that. You know why? Because like for so many, I've helped over 100 people write books. And that is one thing that I've always said. I'm like, listen, because there's always that one chapter that people are like, ooh, Tina, I don't think I could do this. And these are coming from like 6, 7, 8-figure earners. They're like, ooh, Tina, I don't think I can do this. Who's going to read my book? Who's going to read my story? But I want each and every one of you guys who are out there watching to understand that no matter what your story is, you have a story. You have a story to share, and you're being selfish if you don't share it with the world, because you can help. Even if it just helps one person, even if it just helps just one, it's going to help just one.
And Tina, can you let us know how you came up with this incredible title? I don't think we talked about it
Oh
recently.
my gosh, we haven't. Okay, so many, many years ago, once upon a time, I had another talk show. And one of the guests, and for the life of me, I cannot remember who it was, heard my story of, losing everything, going through a divorce, empty nesting, losing my job, all that kind of stuff, and kind of rising from the ashes. And they're like, Tina, you're like a glow stick. And I was like, what? And they're like, you're like a glow stick. And I had a glow stick up here. I don't know what happened to it. But so, you have a glow stick, right? And it doesn't work until you almost have to break it in half. You have to bend it and break it and pop it. And then you shake it up, it shines brightly. And I was like, I love that analogy so much. And so many of us have those broken glow stick moments. And so last year, I decided to write a collaboration book, Be a Glowstick Girl, and have 20 amazing women write their stories of their brokenness. And it was such a big hit that I was like, you know what? We're going to do volume 2. And I had already had like you and a couple other people, like they were like, I want to be in your next one. And so I was like, let's do it. Let's do volume 2. And I love both of the volumes, but I feel like volume 2, a lot of people put so much more effort into their story. Not more effort. I don't want to say more effort. It was a lot deeper. These stories were a lot deeper, more impactful. Thank you. More impactful. And between the book 1 and book 2, no matter what you're going through in life, I mean, all of us women have gone through several things, whether it's divorce, loss, grief, abuse, and no matter what kind of abuse it is, there is something that you can relate to in any of these 40 stories between the 2 books that will help you and guide you and inspire you to keep on and continue to do better. So grab you can grab both copies. They're both on Amazon. But I'm just so proud of these ladies, because a lot of them, this is the first time they have told their story, the very first time. And a lot of them had a lot of things going on during this time of us writing this book. Some of them were like, I can't do this, Tina, and would try to pull out. And of course, I don't let them do that. I don't let them do that. I just can continue to inspire them to continue to write their book. So I would love to introduce all of the authors. Star Cod, obviously, she wrote a chapter in the book. Lindsay Walters, welcome to Uncensored Entrepreneurs. So tell everybody who you are, what you do, and a little bit about your chapter.
Hello, I'm so excited to be on here. I just felt so good to be surrounded by such incredible women during this process. I have to say that you all inspire me in so many ways. It was such an honor to just connect with all of you. And I'm so grateful that I ended up meeting you, Tina, and got to be a part of this with you, truly. My name is Lindsay Walters. I'm a single mom. I'm an entrepreneur, a self-published author as well. And I just love to help women feel empowered and help unleash their inner badass, is what I like to say.
Oh, so I love that.
I do empowerment retreats about once a year, and I show up on social media to help women as much as I can. I think we live in a society and a life where we are told to dial it down or that we're too much. And I want to turn up that dial for as many women as possible and let them be as loud and as bold and as powerful as they possibly can. So my chapter was a lot. I think I had numerous conversations.
Let me tell you this too. Lindsay goes, I know this is your baby, so like, how much do you want me to say? Because I have this, and this. And I'm like, say it all, baby. Say it all.
And the amount of times that I was like, are you sure you want me to go deeper on this? Like, are you positive? So I talked a little bit about all of my life and the different things that I went through. And I didn't get to tap into all of it because there's so much. But the biggest things that I talked about was being in the moments of my life where I would conform depending on who I was surrounded by in order to be liked or to be loved. And I craved that love and affection so much that I would act as if or as how they wanted me to be. I would kind of dial it down.
Yeah.
And going into becoming an exotic dancer and how that felt in that stage of my life where, to be honest, it kind of helped me love myself a little more. But so I don't suggest people go do that, but it helped me in a lot of ways. And going through a family member with suicide and being bullied so much and brought down so much in my life. So there was a lot of hiccups, but the primary reason that I wrote this book is for the moms out there. I know my daughter is 4 now and she's my saving grace. She was 100% my glow stick moment. And every decision that I make, every move that I make, every way that I show up, how my head hits the pillow at night is because if I don't chase my dreams and my goals, if I don't work as hard as I possibly can, if I don't smile every day and dance every day and love who I see in the mirror, how will I ever expect my daughter to do the same? We have to teach our children through our actions, not our words. I can't tell my daughter to chase her dreams if I don't chase my own.
Ooh, I love that. I love how you don't let anybody dull your sparkle anymore.
Exactly. I loved what you said, Lindsay, about empowering other women. I think that was like a common thread amongst all of us. We really want to inspire and encourage other women to live their best life, have success in any area of their lives that they want to. So thanks so much for sharing that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so this next person is, and all of them are sweet and dear to my heart, but this one, it really took a lot for her to share her story, simply because she's literally in the middle of a lot of stuff right now. And this is the very, very first time she has shared anything. And so I would like to welcome Lindsay Carrillo in the house.
Thank you so much, Tina. I am just so blessed to be a part of all of this. And gosh, Lindsay, I don't even know like what to say. You just like hit the nail on the head with everything you just said. It's just like, yes, yes. And I am just so honored to be here with you guys today.
Well, tell everybody who you are, what you do, and a little bit about your story and your journey of writing this chapter.
Yeah. So I am Lindsay Carrillo. I am a mom of 4, an author now.
So, #1 international best-selling author, 3 categories, 7 countries, ladies and gentlemen.
An entrepreneur. I'm a conscious life coach. I teach women how to live life more consciously, to improve their relationships, business, all the things really. And there's so much. My drive is really from how much my life was impacted by my trauma. I was really being ridden for most of my life by my trauma and my subconscious mind. And so my passion and what I have found so much empowerment in is creating awareness around those things that keep us small, so that women can grow through those things. And, sometimes it takes another person to help you do that. Yeah. And so that is just my #1 passion is, I started with network marketing in this industry about 4 years ago. And I have to say, I was so stuck. I was just like, I got the taste, the vision, like of all the empowerment and the personal development and the personal growth. But I was just as a person so stuck. And it took me a really long time to be able to find my values and the things that align with me, because I always would say like, oh, I just don't have the motivation for it. I don't have the motivation for it. But like the truth is, we don't need motivation when we're doing things that are truly aligned with our values. And if I could teach people how to get unstuck, that would be that's to me, you can't put a price on that.
I love that. I love that. Woo! Every time you guys talk and share your stories, I'm just so amazed on how many things, you see so many people go through so much. And I literally just did a TikTok on this the other day that says, you judge people for the things that they've gone through that you yourself would never survive.
Yeah, and it's so true because you never know what somebody is going through and what their journey is like until you've walked in their shoes, and it's impossible. We've all, our subconscious minds develop from birth, from inside the womb even, and so there's no way of ever saying as a human that you would do something different because you've never walked the same linear path as that person who went through
Exactly.
and so that was leading to my chapter. What caught, why I was so drawn to share my story is there's so much stigma around women who are sexually abused and families shunning the person who is abused, and because it's their own ego is harmed. And for me, I just want to create awareness in a space where women can feel heard and safe and seen. And it's really unfortunate when you're in that situation and you don't have the love and support of friends and family. And I just wanted to give them an opportunity to feel seen and heard as well.
Yeah. Oof. All right. Well, we're going to continue on. Bethany King. This girl here, you have got to read her story. And the one thing that amazes me about her is that she used to be a pilot in the military. And her and I connected last year for the first one, and then we ended up getting you into this one. So Bethany, tell us who you are, what you do, and a little bit about your journey writing your chapter.
Okay. Hi. I'm so grateful to be here. Thanks for having me and letting me be a contributor on this book. It's been an amazing experience. And my name is Bethany King. I live in New Mexico. I'm a mom of 2 teenagers now. My husband works out of state, so I solo parent the majority of the time. So I'm juggling a lot. And I own a brick and mortar housekeeping business here in town. I've got another housekeeping business going up in a different state, which has been really exciting. I'm also in a network marketing company that's around health and wellness and dabbling in digital marketing. So I really love just connecting with other women, other moms, hardworking moms. I consider myself a hardworking mom, and I don't think there's one that's not hardworking, really. It's a lot of work, right? So the reason I chose the chapter I chose to write about is it's a story that I never really shared outside of like a handful of people. And it happened to me when I was 9 and 10, and I'm now 47. And even my close friends who knew the abuser, I never told them what had happened to me. I don't know if they were also abused. I don't know, it was just one of those things that you just kind of sweep under the rug and you just don't talk about. You're ashamed. And I thought it would be a great opportunity to come out and share the story. And like Lindsay said, letting people know that they're not alone if they're in this situation. I have always had people-pleasing tendencies growing up, and I really truly believe that that is what the abuser honed in on, and he chose individuals that had people-pleasing tendencies. And so the main goal of my chapter is to try to help other moms or parents to talk about this kind of thing with their children. And that's what I was able to do with my kids when they were 6 and 7. They're now 14 and 15. And thank God they've not had to go through what I went through. And looking back on the experience, my mom even went through something similar, but she never talked to me about it. So I really think communicating that not every single adult is trustworthy and is not your friend. That's okay to not trust every single person.
Yeah.
So that's it in a nutshell.
In a nutshell. Okay, so we are going to keep moving on because there are so many other questions that I have for each and every one of you. So the next person is Tina Howerman. She became one of my clients and really close friend of mine. We met last year at a huge event, and we immediately just became like besties. We have the same name, the same birthday. We had the same occupational jobs growing up, and it was just kind of funny. I'm like, "That's me," and she's like, "Oh my god, I did too." And I was like, "Oh, I did this." She goes, "Oh my god, me too." I just lost my mom when we first started this book, and she lost her mom as well, and so she was a really big crutch for me when I was going through all of that. So welcome, Tina Howerman, in the house. Tell us who you are, what you do, and a little journey about your writing this chapter.
Hey everyone, my name is Tina Huerman. Like she said, I'm a mindset coach. I'm huge into positive vocabulary to reinforce what your dreams are, what dreams are inside of you, and using the correct vocabulary, changing what you say from hope to empowerment in the way that you say the words. Like, I hope to write a book someday. No, I'm writing a book. And there's just such a different energy that comes with that when you speak it as if it has already happened. And it makes it more real when you speak it that way. So how did I have no idea how Tina talked me into this. But I guess my journey began 34 years ago, coming to this chapter, when I met my knight in shining armor, Prince Charming. I stood him up on our very first date, and he called me. He got one of those 2 a.m. phone calls, and he just cussed me out. I don't deserve to be treated like this. And I was like, I'm sorry, you're right. I just kept apologizing. And then I called him the next day and I apologized again. I'm kind of going off the story, but I'm doing a little backstory. And so a day later, I got a single red rose delivered to work that said, how about a second try on a first date? And we've now celebrated.
Can I just say that you even kept that card 30-something years later?
I still have every single card that came with every single bouquet of flowers that he's given me over these 31 years. And one of the biggest blessings out of our relationship, I mean, there were so many, obviously, but he came with a cute little 3-year-old boy that loved Ninja Turtles. And I knew that for his father to love me, that I had that boy had to love me too, because they were a package deal. And so I memorized every single Ninja Turtle name so we could talk and have fun. And Raphael is red, Michelangelo is orange, because I would go Michael Orangelo, to try
to memorize it.
To try to memorize these names. And being a step parent is like, that is such a tough job, because you have the X factor, you have you're not the parent, you have the other parent gets put in the middle. And Cole and I had his name's Cole, he's just a beautiful spirit, and we had a lot of very rocky years, but when my mom was in hospice, we became best friends and would talk for hours on the phone. And sadly, the day after Christmas in 2020, he passed away of a heroin overdose. And I was devastated because I lost a child. And so he was 33 years old. I'd been a part of his life for 30 years, parenting. He lived with us for the majority of the time. And, my chapter is called Stepmom's Grief Too. And one of the things that happened along this journey is I was made to feel I didn't have a place. I didn't have the right to grieve. I didn't have the right to an opinion. And it first became evident when we were sitting around the conference table at the funeral home. And we were talking about the urn, the ashes, the open casket, closed casket, and all of that. And I gave an opinion of something I thought Cole would like. And I got an immediate side eye from the birth mother. And she kind of just turned and put her shoulder to me and directed the conversation back to her and the funeral director. And I thought, this is not the time or the place. She's hurting too. I know what grief is like. And I'm like trying to protect everybody, because losing my mom 3 years prior, like I know that devastation. I know how unfunctional people can become when they're hit with such a tremendous amount of grief. And there were many other instances within this story, and I would just question myself, am I being ridiculous? You know, that hurt my feelings. Am I being stupid for feeling like this? I had a right to be in his life, but do I have a right to be in his grief? And I just want to show stepmoms, you matter. You know, your voice matters. Your love for that child matters. And at one point, I was told to grieve in silence. I wasn't even allowed to grieve in public. And that's when I had it and I stood up for myself. First time really in the 30 years that we'd been married that I actually stood up to that sense of control that I allowed over me because I wasn't a mom.
And you actually went in and tried to find help, like on Amazon and books, and there was nothing. So, you know, Stepmoms Grieve Choose chapter is for all of those stepmoms and step parents who, you know, don't have that help. You know, so, you know, make sure you go and read her chapter. Heidi Cole, her and I have been friends for a very long time online. And a lot of these women I have never met in person, but I am so blessed to the ones that I have met. So Heidi, tell us who you are, what you do, and a little bit about your journey of writing your chapter.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'm going to ditto everybody of what you said. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And what a blessing you are. And Glowstick is truly an understatement for how you shine. So thank you for everything.
Don't make me cry.
So my name is Heidi Cole, and I am kind of a jack of all trades. I'm an entrepreneur, professional entrepreneur for the last 26 years, a high ticket business coach. I'm a mindset coach, John Maxwell coach and speaker. So I love to empower people. And growing up, a little bit about my chapter as far as finding worth beyond the walls. Growing up, my father, because I won't say the other thing, my father, he shared that he never had a child. And I found that out at a very young age. And I didn't realize the impact that that had on my confidence growing up through the years. I looked for acceptance. I looked for love in all the wrong places. I put my value in how other people perceived me. And coming through the years as I had children, I'm a mom of 2 adults. I'm a Gigi of 3, married to my soulmate for the last 30 years. And what I've learned through that process, and what I love to help women be empowered, build their confidence, and know that their worth is who the man above created us to be. And nothing and no one can stand in the way of what they're called to do. And so that's just a brief journey of what my chapter is about.
Oof. You know, I got the honor to read all these chapters and edit and do all the things before, you know, it was all done completely. And all of these chapters, I would leave the chapter and I would just be so depleted because I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm an empath and I take it all on. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I remember Tita one time, she was like, okay, we got to clear you, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so heavy. So a lot of these, you know, as you're reading these chapters, if, you know, one of them trigger you, or, you know, it's getting to be a little bit too much, put the book down, take a couple of breathers, take a deep breath, but don't stop reading it, because it will help you. It is a very, very healing process. All right. This next girl, Lori Kennedy, I had the honor of meeting her last weekend in person. She didn't just come for me, but she came for me. And I absolutely adore her. And I am so excited and so proud of her chapter. It took a little bit of pulling out of her, but once she did, boy, she took off. So Lori, tell us who you are, what you do, and a little bit about your journey writing this chapter.
Well, again, like everyone has said, ditto. I appreciate you, Tina, for this, and another woman that's on here, Donna. Again, I'll forever be grateful for the introduction to Tina. My name is Lori Kennedy. I am also an entrepreneur, although I am a newer entrepreneur, if you will. I have been in the network marketing space for over 10 years, but really started looking at business as my network marketing business as a business within the last, I would say, year and a half, close to 2 years. So I'm newer in the entrepreneurial world. However, I have been an executive director for a nonprofit for quite a number of years, 24 years to be exact. So I am very well versed in running a business, just never one of my own. So, but I'm also a fiance. I am essentially a stepmom and with no kids of my own. So that's a journey in itself. And new to the coach / mentorship world. I do have a couple of clients that I mentor, and it has definitely become a passion of mine to help women who have struggled find their identity again after loss, grief, narcissistic relationships, things of that nature, to really find themselves again and to build a community of like-minded powerhouses.
Whew. So your chapter, tell us a little bit about your chapter and your journey of writing the chapter.
So my chapter is about life after a narcissistic relationship and how to really, because when you survive or are going through a narcissistic relationship, you really struggle with who you are and who you thought you were and who you want to be, and all of the self-doubt that is piled on to you during that time. And my chapter really just gives you a few ways to overcome those situations, and it just gives a little bit of maybe pointers on what has worked for me. I am not a therapist. However, I believe that the most help I received after my narcissistic relationships were from like-minded people who had overcome those obstacles. So that is where my passion lies, is here's where I'm at now. This is where I was. And I am now helping the women that I needed help from, 6 years ago or wherever it was. So that is
that you needed 6 years ago.
That's right. So my goal is I want women who know that they're worth more, but don't know how or can't remember how to find out who they are. And I am also really playing around in the field of step parenting and how to cohabitate in a home, being a step parent and co-parenting when you don't really have a lot of say in that world. It's also it's a new journey, and but just women finding out who they are and really seeing them flourish it's where my heart lies.
Whew. Well, if you guys are just tuning in, we have the Be a Glowstick Girls authors all on here. They are all #1 international best-selling authors in 3 categories, 7 countries. So make sure you guys follow every single one of them. Grab the book at beaglowstickgirl.com and read all of their chapters. And when you do, reach out to them. Let them know how their chapter helped you, how that chapter guided you to your next journey. This next lady, powerhouse right here. Donna Valdez, let everybody know. She's like, oh, me? Let everybody know who you are, what you do, and a little bit about your chapter and the writing journey that you took. She's like, hold on, let me take a drink of my vodka.
Hold on now, hold on. Come on, hold on.
She goes, I'm gonna take a drink of my vodka real quick.
All right. Hi, everybody. I feel like it's like girlfriend weekend. Like we need to get together and just, hang out for the weekend.
Glowstick retreat might be in the near future.
Yeah, I think we need to do that because you get to know everybody and it's like a sisterhood. And so I'm so privileged and honored and just such an experience. Thank you, Tina. And I cannot wait to see you guys in person. I don't know, a little bit about me. I'm just a girl who
just a girl who loves
I'm just a girl who always knew she was supposed to do more. Always knew that this couldn't have been just it. And when I went into the entrepreneurial world, it's like Lori's story, but I took it from my chapters all about the professional struggle of working with narcissistic people. And I'm in direct sales. I've been in direct sales and network marketing affiliate. When affiliates, they couldn't even spell the word affiliate. Everyone was spelling it wrong back in the day. You guys know what I'm talking about. Going on 30 years. And at that point, I think I was on social media, like one of the first when only college kids were on social media, and it was cool back then, you know.
And now we're all old. You're on
And now well, no, I'm not. Thank you. Speak for yourself. But what it did was
teenagers say to us, "Oh, you're
like,
on
geez, damn, Tina." I'll put that. You were going to be my next chapter. Women supporting women, as long as you're not old. But you know what it was for me? It was a huge, because I don't think we talk about it, is when you try to, you know, you hear all the things, you're supposed to do more, you're supposed to be more, you're out there, you're just trying. And then there are people who take advantage of that. There are, you know, in direct sales upline who take advantage of it. If you are company owners that take advantage of it, there's people who take advantage of it. And for years I was called gullible. I was called naive because I was a giver. I just wanted to give and people took, and I was hurt financially, emotionally. I mean, the scars that I have, people think I'm just crazy for sticking with it, but it's because I've seen what creating another income, not putting all your eggs in one basket, does for a woman. It changed my life, my kids. And I just knew that there had to be something. I have to stick with this. But the journey along the way, when I tell you, oh my gosh, like that's a whole book, not just a chapter. And so I realized it's not just happening to me, it's happening to other people.
Yeah.
And so I talk about what I did. And a lot of it is the worthiness, right? Lori was talking about how you just feel worthy, how to find and reclaim your worthiness in a personal relationship. It's even 10 times harder when it's in a professional relationship because you're out there when you have been taken advantage of by people who you thought were friends or lied to or whatever. And it's hard. It's really hard. So, and it's humiliating, you know, when it's so public. So that's what I talk about. That's what my chapter is about. I go through a couple things that I actually went through, real stories, no BS. And what I did to reclaim my worthiness, similar. It's finding your own strength, finding your worthiness, and finding the humility and the courage. It's just courage. The whole book is about courage. That's what I love about it. It's the courage to say, F you guys, I'm in it to win it.
Yeah.
Get out of my way. Call me crazy, call me stupid, call me all these names, but I know there's something deep down that I'm not supposed to just take it.
Yeah.
And that's what my chapter is about. I take it on a professional level, though, not personal. And I'm in such admiration when I hear the personal stories. I was too chicken shit to write about personal. I was like, all right, I'm going to give you all professional. I'm not giving you all my. So I have so much respect for you guys that you guys went that deep. Me, I just talked about the assholes along the way that I met. You know, so enjoy. Have your tea.
It was great, Donna. We have Sharice commenting. She said it's so relatable and so hard, and she thanked you, Donna. So your story is very impactful as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm just so blessed to get to know you guys. And I have, you know, that my friends that I said, hey, come on the journey with me. You know, they're here and I am so excited. And, you know, because my friends rock and they have such incredible stories.
Like I asked Donna, you know, I said, hey, I'm doing this thing. I would love for you to be a part. She's like, do you have any other spots? I said, yeah. She's like, okay, here. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, come on, let's go. But, you know, Glowstick Girls, you know, I think we have this bond now, you know, with volume 1 and volume 2 now. There's about 45 of us in there. And there's so many amazing stories. And no matter what you are going through in life, you are going to be touched or relate to at least one of them, if not every single one of them. So many of us women wear different hats and have different things have happened to us in the lifetime. It's not just, oh my God, the only thing that's ever happened was I got a divorce. No. If you've ever lost a job, lost a loved one, got a divorce, empty nesting, had somebody, be ugly to you at the workplace, have somebody, in your family, do things to you that should never have been done to you when you were young, have somebody that you thought you loved hurt you or break your heart. This one thing after another, or have anybody beat you down so much that you thought you were unworthy and unloved. Every single one of these stories will inspire you.
Definitely. These stories are incredible and amazing, and we really want to thank all of you guys for being here. So I really want to ask you guys individually a question, if that's okay. So I'll start with Bethany. And the reason this came to mind was we did another episode, and I broke down crying, and I share my story around grief. And, it's very traumatic to lose a child. And we had another guest expert, Tina H, on here, who also lost his stepson as well. And so I definitely relate with her story. And for me, I share, ways to kind of navigate through grief and techniques that you can do. And also, understanding that grief is not going to go away tomorrow, and for others to respect our boundaries around grief, and for you and to remind our audience and other readers to respect the boundaries of others who are actually suffering something similar. And Lindsay, you mentioned to me, you're like, Star, put some cold ice on your wrist. And I was like, wow. So what I want to do is I want to ask each and every one of you guys to kind of share one strategy or tip. So I'll start with Bethany. If you can share a strategy for your readers, for your chapter, just one takeaway that can help and support them through a similar journey that you've been through, and also let our audience know how they can get a hold of you and where they can find you.
Okay, so I think, thank you for picking me first.
Making me go first.
So I two things came to mind, and one being talk to a trusted friend. Talk to them about what you're going through. They will be there to lift you, support you, comfort you, all the things. I did not do that. I told my parents, and then we kind of just swept it under the rug, and I tried living life as if it didn't happen, because I wanted to believe it was just a bad dream, and it didn't happen, but it did affect me throughout my life. So yes, talk to somebody, anybody. It doesn't have to be a paid professional, but somebody just that helps navigate that healing process, starts that healing process. But number two, for me personally, discovering my relationship with Christ was so impactful. And this is way much further down the road for me, developing that relationship and really knowing that he was there with me throughout my life, and he was loving on me and supporting me, and he put people in my life. And just looking back on it, and it gets me a little emotional. So yeah, that relationship with Christ for me is what helped tremendously.
Thank you, Bethany.
And wait, give them a way to get a hold of you, Bethany.
Okay, so you can reach me on Facebook at Bethany King, but on Instagram at Bethany N King, that's with my middle initial. And I'm also on TikTok, but those are the two main areas you can find me.
Thank you so much, Bethany. Lindsay Walters, if you can share one takeaway from your story, a strategy or a tip for our readers, our viewers today, and also how can we get a hold of you?
Absolutely. I love this part of the conversation. This is my jam. This is my favorite. Okay, so one thing that I talk about this at every live video that I do, every speaking engagement that I do in the book, offline, online, is you can have everything going on in your life, feel like you're crumbling, the world's falling apart around you. But when it all comes down to it, the only thing that matters is at the end of the day, when your head hits that pillow, that you made you proud. Not mom you, wife you, husband you, sister you, brother you. And that can literally mean that you got to shower and wash the rat's head bun out of
Or
your head.
not even wash, just get in the shower.
Yeah, you can just stay in there. But doing that, but also every day, I mean, I'm not ashamed to it. I strut around my house with good music, acting like I'm the best singer on planet Earth, and just jamming out and dancing like nobody's watching except my daughter, and she joins me now. It's great. But get your body moving. Anytime that you feel low or a low vibrational state, turn on good high vibe music and dance and sing. Now, Donna, don't be showing up at my house, peeking through the window, videotaping you dancing and posting it online, okay? I see you over there. And to get
Like, let me drink my tea.
what's in there, Donna?
That's what I'm saying, Donna. I don't think that's tea.
And
I
then
love how you just have that strong fortitude, and that you show your daughter that same things, because I can see her. She's just like, yeah, let's go, mommy, let's dance and come on. And I love how you have and interact with her online.
oh, she loves it. I could say, do you want to go live with everyone on Facebook? As long as they give me hearts.
Ah!
Yeah, she came on with you in the beginning of the show, I believe.
Yeah, she had to say hi, and she was very excited that you guys knew her name. She was like, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Her.
Yes. Let us know how our viewers can find you, Lindsay.
So on all platforms, I am Lindsay Walters, just as displayed here. On TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, it's lindsaywalters.8.
Thank you. Lori, how are you today? Can you go ahead and share with our audience one takeaway, something that they can implement to help them, anyone who's been through a narcissistic, abusive relationship, or anything that you want to share with us today? And also let us know how our viewers can connect with you.
Sure, thank you. I think that my biggest takeaway or advice I can give you is you're exactly where you need to be in your healing process. That is something a lot of people will be like, well, I'm out of the relationship. So, and a lot of people that are around you that have never been in a narcissistic relationship will be like, well, you got a divorce, so what's the problem? And a lot of people don't understand the trauma that you carry. So just know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be in your healing process, and do not compare your healing to somebody else's healing, and don't compare, even if you may have had the same experiences in your relationship and you feel that they're maybe ahead of you. Don't compare your healing to somebody else's, because all of our situations, even though they may look the same, they're unique, and we compare those things differently. So just know that you are where you're supposed to be. And I encourage you to find, kind of like Bethany said, find somebody that you can pour into, that has the space and the capacity to be able to accept you and hold you as well. I think that's very important to be able to find that. And that's why I'm so passionate about building a community of women, and a few brave men, but a community of women, so that there are places that are safe for people to come and be like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but something's wrong with me. And because I know there's sometimes like, I don't know, and God forbid I cuss right now, but like, I don't know what is wrong with me, and I'm emotional and I don't know what's wrong. Nothing's really happened. I got up this morning and I heard a song and now I'm a mess. But have someone be like, it's cool. What can I do? What do you need from me? Do you need me to sit with you? Want me to send you some Starbucks? I mean, have that community of people. So that's my biggest advice is, please do not judge yourself, and give yourself grace in your healing process.
Do not do it alone.
Do not do it alone. Find your community. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, I have gotten my best, I guess, advice, if you will, from non-therapists. So if therapy works for you, by all means, that is amazing. But find yourself a coach, find yourself a mentor, find yourself a community of people where you can get a hold of them and be like, I just need somebody today. And that means you could be like, I just need someone in my space, but don't say anything. I just need to know that I'm not alone. And I think that's so important. And I do that quite a bit. Like, I don't want you to talk, just shut up, but just stay here. Stay here and shut up. So
this is what she does to me when we have our weekly coaching call.
Yeah, I'm like, I need you to sit here with me, but don't say anything. So Yeah.
Just hold me accountable. Lori, how can we get a hold of you?
Yes, I am on all social media platforms as well. Facebook, I am more active on. However, I am working on. So if you are looking for Instagram, I am there under Fierce Siren Empowerment, but you can find me on other social media handles with Lori Kennedy, just how it's displayed.
Thank you so much, Lori.
I'm always going to be the one with the pink hair, so you can find me. That's how you'll find me.
Even when she's 95 years old, pink hair.
Amen. Thank you.
And that is so true, right? I know so many of the women here have been connected before this, and some became connected after we started this. And, you know, Tina and I are really close. I can go to Tina and share anything with Tina. And some of the women have said, oh, we have a hard time struggling to get out of bed. And, you know, we might be going through something. And so definitely find someone that you can confide in and just talk to and just motivate you to get up. So, Lori, that was incredible. So, Lindsay, I would love for you to share a takeaway from your chapter. We would love to encourage the viewers to purchase a copy of this book. So if you can share one thing with our audience and also how they can connect with you, we would love to hear more about that.
Sure. So one thing that I think is really helpful for anybody who has a situation similar to mine is trauma is stored in the body and we react. Sometimes you feel it completely. Your body is just completely nerved up from head to toe. And sometimes we react instead of, you know, just being able to notice that our body is telling us that there's a trigger there, like this is an old wound, and being able to kind of count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and ground yourself before responding. So learning how in your relationships, whether it be business or whatever, sometimes we can be triggered by something that somebody says that could be related to something that we went through way back when, and we don't know where it's coming from. Whenever you feel your body kind of reacting and raising up, like, oh, like I'm tense right now, that's a huge sign for you to just stop. Just stop. Your body's communicating, and like creating that awareness with yourself so that you can, you know, improve your relationships, improve your lives, and improve your projects and things that you're working on. Really just being able to recognize that in your body, and then using tools to be able to, like, okay, like, you know, when you're feeling like that, get outside. You know, put your face in the freezer if you have to. Grab an ice cube, put it on your wrist, cool your temperature down. I have a whole list of tips that I could spew off to you, but I think regulating and grounding yourself through something so traumatic is probably the number one tip you will need.
Lindsay was like our in-house, I don't want to say therapist because she's not a therapist, but she was our in-house kind of sort of counselor. Because when people, every week we would get together and I would pull these stories out and people are like, oh my gosh, it's hard. This is hard. It's hard for me to, Lindsay would be like, so tell me why you're feeling like why are you feeling like this?
Let's explore that. Yeah, that's just,
what do you feel? Are you feeling it in your stomach and your chest? Where are you? So I appreciate all your tips, Lindsay. How can we get a hold of you, Lindsay?
So on Facebook, I am Lindsay L. Carrillo. On TikTok and Instagram, you can find me at Lindsay L. Carrillo 11.
Thank you, Lindsay. And Donna, we really appreciated your story and your chapter so much as well. Can you share some sort of advice or a takeaway that we can look forward to reading in your chapter? And also let us know how our audience can get in touch with you and find you.
Oh, thank you. The biggest takeaway, just don't stop. Just don't stop.
And stay away from assholes that you work with.
Don't stop. It's funny because, yeah, you do need to find someone to confide in, but I'm a believer you keep your circle small.
Yeah.
Keep your circle small. Don't go out there and talking, especially with women, keeping that circle small. I've made the mistake of wanting to be friends with everybody, and especially as an entrepreneur, it doesn't work out. So keep your circle small. Keep like when you find that ride or die, you cherish it, and whatever it takes. And then I think in business is trust your gut, because when the more successful you become, the more luck you're going to have, the more opportunities you're going to be told to look at. You might be coerced or moved into decisions that you weren't really feeling good about, and I don't know if it's happened to you. It certainly has happened to me. And I always end up totally regretting it. And it's always been my gut was right if I just trusted it.
Yeah.
And I think that comes down to if you have that internal deep desire, whether it's God pouring into you, the universe, whatever it is. For me, it was I knew there was something I was supposed to do. Then you have to continue to allow yourself to trust yourself, good or bad. I probably would have saved a lot of gray hair if I did that. But that's your hopefully the takeaway is to not stop and just to believe in yourself. I mean, there's so many different takeaways that, that's volume 3 we can get into. There's so many takeaways, especially for women in business. It's a passion of mine as I do coaching and training and speaking. And, it really does become a passion project because I think women just, not only do we build businesses different than men, and it's okay to say that. I mean, I was told, oh my gosh, how do you say that? I'm like, we've got menopause, guys. We've got children. I mean, I'm sitting there doing 3-way calls in my bathroom, because it's the only place, anyone relate, right?
I think Sarah and I have talked many times while I was sitting in the bubble bath.
I'm like, I used to do calls. Oh, who knows this one? The mommy stare to the kid.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
You do this, you learn a third language with your children.
And they're like,
and now it's like, for what?
Yeah.
For what? Like, I love Lindsay so much. She knows that I love her. And it's like, the fact she embraced that, because I think of how screwed up I made my kids with the whole, like, shh, mommy's on a call. It's 9:00 at night.
Answer the phone.
Oh, it's tough. Anyway, I could go on. Just trust your gut.
I love you.
Are worthy. And you can find me. I'm on all platforms as my name, just Donna Valdez. Because y'all go and brand yourself early on all platforms as soon as they launch one. Threads. It doesn't matter if you ever. Who remembers Periscope? I remember Periscope. Clubhouse. Donna Valdez. Across all of them. Right. So yeah, if you can get your name, absolutely. But that's where I'm at, and it was a pleasure. Thank you.
That's a really good takeaway. I have a lot of clients who struggle. What domain should I put? What company name? What's my LLC? I'm like, just brand yourself. So thanks.
Another company. Okay, so Star, what's one takeaway that you would give, and tell everybody how we can get a hold of you?
Yeah, thank you so much. So I would just say to honor the legacy. If you've lost a loved one, just honor their legacy, remember them. Maybe you can, create a special time where you and your family members meet, maybe for their birthday, or, just to continue to honor their life and celebrate them. And that's something that we do. And I think that's been very helpful for the family to kind of stay connected. So that's kind of one of the things that I'll be discussing in my chapter. And you can find me on Facebook and all social media platforms as well, just like Donna at Star Cod. So thank you guys so much. And another thing I wanted to point out, Tina, thank you so much for the opportunity and bringing these incredible women together. It's been amazing. And Tina is the one who put together Uncensored Entrepreneurs. She shared her vision with me. And this is exactly what we're doing in this book. We're just really just sharing everything. We're not hiding anything from you. We're just putting everything out there, no filter, and definitely check out the book.
Definitely. You can grab your book at beaglowstickgirl.com. Thank you guys all for being here. I am so honored to have coached you guys through this, to be your publisher, to be your cheerleader. And I just think that we all have this special bond for the rest of our lives. You guys are going to be in this book together. And for the rest of your lives, you're going to be touching somebody's heart. That's why I keep telling them, I said, in a couple of months, people are going to be, oh my God, I just read your chapter. And oh my God, you have helped me through the worst times of my life. And oh my God, me too. And you're just going to get all of these messages. And when you get those, that's when you know what, I did it. I helped those people. Lori, did you have something to say, hon? Okay. So thank you guys all for being here. This is Uncensored Entrepreneurs. We come to you live every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you like, share, and follow. And make sure you follow all of these amazing women. If you have not yet grabbed your book, you can grab it at beaglowstickgirl.com. help us stay on the bestseller list. And we will see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much. And we're still live.